Hey guys, so I'm going to switch it and share the screen with you. Here are our principles of the program. The following principles constitute the four major goals of the NESC 21st Century Project, which is what we do for the extended day. The first goal is the project will continue to develop community connections and understandings for the students, families, and the community agencies for overall and sustainability of the project. The second goal is the project will provide 7 to 15 hours per week average, with 65% of the time devoted to high quality instruction of math, science, ELA, and technology, with a focus on problem-based learning, career and college readiness, and STEAM activities. The third goal is the project will provide extended learning opportunities for students, families, and staff by incorporating college and career readiness and opportunities. And the fourth goal is the project will establish a system for continuous improvement and evaluation. Some of the things that we accomplished last year, they had done surveys and we had really good feedback from the families that we served, and we had good feedback from the state, and our main site thought that we had done a very good job. So I was very happy about that, especially since it had been our first year. The other things that we accomplished is I set out to get the garden going, and I wrote a grant, and we were lucky enough to be able to do the garden project. We received a grant from both Foster County and Griggs County Soil Conservation for a total of $1,000 combined between the two. With that, we bought supplies, we bought seeds, we bought hoses, all the things that we needed to do for the garden. With that, we were also able to purchase a greenhouse, which we'll be setting up this spring. I'll get to that a little bit later. We also worked with a program called the Tech Bridge Girls Project, and we were able to have a large amount of our summer STEM supplies we received for free through that program. And it was really neat. And what the emphasis with that was, although boys were included, it was emphasizing trying to get girls more interested in STEM and math and those things, because those are areas that stereotypically girls haven't felt as confident. So that's always my goal too, is to make sure that girls feel very confident in math and in science and STEM. I mean, all of my students, but I really want girls to know that they are very capable of doing those things too. I also wrote a grant for art supplies, and we received a $900 grant for art supplies. And with that, we had weekly lessons from the North Dakota Arts Council over the summer. We still are working with the North Dakota Art Council. We do Zooms once a week, where we've had visits from where we get to visit the Historical Society. They've taken us to places like the Governor's Home, like it used to be the Governor's Home, the Chateau des Morts, a lot of different places the kids have had an opportunity to see and to interact with the people giving the tour. And it's a great program. We also have been working with the North Dakota Arts Council. We get art lessons from artists, and they do a great job, and the kids have a lot of fun with that. And last week, we actually got to work with the North Dakota Theater Arts, and they are out of Fargo, which was pretty cool. The kids got to learn some different songs about some different cultures. It was pretty neat. So the plan, getting back to the greenhouse closer to spring, with some help from the custodians, we're going to get that set up, and we're going to try and grow some of the things that we're going to put into the garden a little sooner and get them ready, and then transplant them into the garden. Also, we're going to do some flowers, because it's nice to have those pollinators near the garden also, to draw in those pollinators, I should say. I was going to talk about, I will be sending some STEM activities home for the kiddos to work on over Christmas break if they choose. They're not things that need to come back. It's just stuff that they can work on and kind of have some fun with and things like that. After Christmas break, I want to try and schedule like a family math night, STEM night, both kind of combined. Last year in the early spring, we had done a science fair and a STEM night combination. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a math night, STEM night combination. So I'll try and get that planned, and hopefully we have a lot of people show up for that. I know that they had been talking about doing a school-wide math night, which would be neat. And if we did that, I'd probably do that in conjunction with our program and then add our STEM part of it with that. As you guys probably know, I also will be having back surgery on January 19th, but I plan on being back to school by the 31st. If I'm feeling up to it, if I need to do some half days for a while, that may happen also. Both of Mrs. Quam and Miss Ronigan will be working some extra days to help out while I'm gone, but always still feel free that you can contact me or message me. I'll be in contact with them, and the kiddos and the program are still a really huge priority for me. Some of the things going back, talking about the community connections. That's a goal of ours, to draw in a lot of community interactions and contacts. And we've done that, like we talked about the garden, and those were community, not coming up with the right word, but they are people who have helped us with different things. In the spring, in collaboration, well, my son is going to UND in computer science. He and some other fellow students who are in computer science are going to either Zoom or try and come down and work with the extended day program to show them a little more advanced how coding and computer science works. So that would be a collaboration like with an outsource. The program always needs donations, like for, different supplies and things. Those are some partnerships that I would like us to be able to make with different community members. And we've had a lot of support whenever I put a list out of people sending in things and stuff like that, which is really great. What would be neat is if we could get more support for things to come in, that like different games that the kids could play and things like that. The program does have a $2,000 budget for STEM supplies, but I'm very careful with it of what I purchase, because it has to last the whole year, even through the summer program. So I'm kind of picky about what I do buy. So I really appreciate when we can get things sent in for recyclables or different things that we use. And we use lots of straws and lots of coffee filters and all those kind of things. Pipe cleaners, I know they don't call them that anymore. They're called chenille something. I still think of them as a pipe cleaner, even though it's probably not the most appropriate way to think of them anymore. So all those things are things that the program is working on trying to build, those relationships. Part of the parent committee is, when we meet, I like to hear the things that you guys feel like are going well, or things that might need change, or things that we can add to make the kids feel more successful, or different activities that we could do. I know we didn't get to meet. I had things come up last week, but if you have any questions after this, or if you feel like we need to meet, we still can. We will be having a meeting in I'm thinking early February now, since I will be having surgery, in January. If that works for everybody, we'll plan one then, and then we could get together and talk about maybe ideas that you have for making community partners, for helping us out with different supplies and things like that. If you guys had any suggestion or ideas how to, so the general public is maybe a little more involved or understand what we're doing here, that would be great. I do put a lot of stuff out on social media, and I do think that we have a good response. We had really good numbers last year. Even over the summer, I had 32 kids enroll, and not everybody was here every day, but we had days where we had 16 or 19 kids who did come in for the program, and I thought that was a pretty big deal. And I hope that we have that much enthusiasm this summer too. And this year, I have noticed that I still have stronger numbers on the 2 days that I am teaching the program. The other two teachers do an amazing job too. I just think the kids are a little more used to me. So I love that they come in on my days more, but I would love to see them come in other days too. And like with the program, they don't have to be here every day. And I know that there's a lot going on in life right now, and everything is very busy, but my goal is that we keep continuing to grow numbers. And even if a child isn't here every day, if we could get more enrollment, because it looks good for us and it helps us with our grant, which I want us to keep being able to get, because I feel like this is a valuable program. So that is really kind of all we had to meet about. If you want to contact me, talk about what I said, if you had any more questions or any of those things, please feel free. Thank you.